Hola, amigo. Welcome back, everybody. Today's a very creamy, delicious little soup that I have mixed up for you with a very, very entertaining story, very sexual, but also very real and spiritual. I'm hitting it again, and I had a little look in the mirror, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna start looking like, I'm smuggling cocaine over the Gulf of Mexico. So that's what I'm dressed like this for, man. Because I'm a luchador, boy. I've had a very, very, very funny story happen to me. I draw up floor plans for a living, and I go around to people's houses, measure them all up, and I went round to this lovely little lady's house last week, and we got talking, and she was divorced. I'm giving my sympathies to her, and I carry on working. She starts going, "Oh gosh, you're so tall." And I get that a few times. It's funny when people say that. It's like they think I don't know, or that I forgot that I'm 6'5". But I guess you say it about, a conversation starter or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, I am. And she goes, no, no, it's a good thing. So I'm starting to pick up a little bit what she's laying down. And it feels like she's coming on to me a little bit. It seems like she fancies me. She's trying to leap off from this husband, find herself on a new toadstool with the king of the pond. And it's probably a lot of men's dreams. Definitely a porn category of being the pizza delivery guy that gets to fuck the housewife. And I'd be lying if I said that it wasn't one of mine as well. So I carried on, doing my bits and bobs, and she shouts me. She's like, "Oh, so what are you doing this weekend then?" Oh gosh, I'm probably gonna do the pub, see my friends and that. Act like I've got a really busy life, which I don't. Seem like the cool guy to her. And she stops and looks at me and goes, "Can I ask you something strange?" My ears are ringing. I'm thinking, it's gonna happen. It's actually gonna happen, man. Gee willikers. I'm like, my vision's blurry, and I'm like, uh, yeah, go on then. What's up? And she goes, "Do you have a nanan in the spirit world?" And I was like, yeah. And she goes, "Well, I'm a psychic communicator, and she stood behind you now." And it was the strangest thing in the world. I was like, "What are you on about, lady?" And this woman, when she was looking at me in the room, she was like looking through me, like looking at me like she just saw an all-you-can-eat buffet through a window. She's like, "Oh, this tall, right?" She's like, "This tall." And I was like, "Yeah, I guess she's small." But everything she was saying about my nanan was kind of not right. It was a little bit wrong. She was like, "Oh, have you just got a certificate or some sort of award?" Because she's holding up something. She's really proud of you. And I was like, I haven't really. She's like, "Have you got a cousin that's tall?" I was like, "I don't think so." I started feeling like a little bit bad for her. I felt like, just kind of agreeing with her just to make her feel better. I don't believe that it is real or stuff like that is real, but if my nana was actually trying to communicate with me through this mental patient, and she's like stood behind, like, "God, listen to her, listen to her." Because I was thinking when she said, "Oh, can I ask you a question?" I was like, "Oh, she's gonna suck my dick." So, she's gonna we're gonna go upstairs and have sex, I think. And it's funny, she's like, "I can see your dead nan behind you." She's not very happy about something. She's a little bit uncomfortable, to be honest. She's a bit disappointed. What's up? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know what that could be. Beats me. It's not that I'm thinking about having sex with you. It can't be that. Surely not. Surely not. Maybe I left the toaster on. It's funny going from that mindset where you're like horny to thinking about your dead nan in 5 seconds as well. While I was there, you know, we changed. I tried to change subjects because it was making me extremely uncomfortable. This lady going off like this, and we started talking about her moving into the house, and she kept calling me Ed. Right, my name's not Ed, and she told me a story about when they moved in. He went round to the next door neighbours, and he was like, "Oh, thank God you've just moved in, because the guy that's moved out was absolutely crazy. He said that he could see dead people and was talking to them." And little did this guy know that the head translator of the undead had just moved in next door now. It was so strange. You know, I carried on working, and it was like, "Oh, is my nan still in the room, or what's going on here? Like, is she left, or what? Can I fart?" Just so uncomfortable. And then by the end of it, when I was going, she said like, "All right, yeah. So anything else, Ed?" And I was like, "Oh, my name's not Ed." And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Have you got like a nickname or a middle name or anything like that?" And I was like, "Oh, my middle name is Edward." She was like, "That'll be it." And that's the only thing really that hit me, and I was like, "Oh man, God, is this crazy bitch onto something?" Because the way I think it works is they just fling enough shit at the wall, and you can really say one or two things that are true in most people's life. Either they're happy or they're sad, really, aren't they? This news story, right? There's this tree, all right, and I know there's millions and billions of trees, but this is a very special tree. You know, it's said that it is the most photographed tree in Britain. It won Tree of the Year in 2016. I'm pretty surprised that's even an award. I might apply next year to get my see if I can get my wood on the leaderboard. But it's located up at Hadrian's Wall in the north of England, right? And that's like the wall between Scotland and England. And it's really beautiful pictures that people took of it. And some 16-year-old has gone up and chopped this thing down. It looks like it with a serious chainsaw. And I just can't stop thinking about it. I mean, they've arrested the kid, but he's completely fucked this tree up. It's so impressive. When someone murders someone, nowadays, you kind of know why they did it. Or if there's a terrorist attack, you can kind of pretty much straight away assume, oh, someone's blown up a mosque. It's, you know, obviously, is it xenophobia? But I really can't think of a reason why this fucking kid has chopped this tree down. There's no motives. I mean, the only one I can think of is he fucking hates the environment. Or it's some sort of retribution against these Just Stop Oil freaks that block all the roads. But he's gone in the dead of night and he's cracked this fucking oak tree. You know, at least with like Al Qaeda, you can kind of understand how they got to blowing up the Twin Towers. You know, not that I'm agreeing with why they did it, but I'm saying you can understand the sort of global events that led up to it. You know, maybe with the invasion of certain countries, destabilizing governments, overthrowing leaders, and you know, terrorist organizations wanting some payback. But there really isn't any way I can see. What is the punishment for some sort of crime of this magnitude? Because it'd be, I'd argue, it is worse than blowing up a building. If you blew up a building and no one died, like an abandoned church or something, you'd probably get in trouble. You can build a building up in a couple of months. Just costs money. This tree, I mean, time is the most precious metal. And you can't just grow a tree overnight. It takes hundreds of years. Well, maybe less than that, but this big old fucking thing is not being grown in a fortnight. But it also seemed kind of unfair if you gave this kid any longer than 6 months in jail for doing this. It's so funny. Like, if he came out and said, "Oh, it was just a joke," I kind of think that he should run for prime minister, because that is the funniest joke I think I've ever fucking witnessed. Maybe they'll kill this dude.